Welcome to Larp Academia. Today we're going to talk about what you get as a level 2 druid. Now I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, Wizzo, I gain 5 more points and I can just drop them down into first level. And I mean, you can, but for every intelligent person, let's have fun, watch the video, and learn about all your awesome abilities. Now the first ability, spell, purchase you can make is a small shield. Now this small shield may not be the prettiest thing in the world, but it gets the job done. Small shields they're blue because they're not as big as medium shields. That's what most people are used to fighting with, and they're, in my opinion and in many other people's opinions, the best shield that you could have. But shields in Amtgard are still extremely powerful. You can block arrows with it, you can block throwies, you can block projectiles, which as a caster, going like this, even with a single short, is hard to block ranged, which is why a shield is extremely powerful. Now, it's not a must-take, because you could choose to play a druid differently. You could choose not to have a small shield, you could choose to go Florentine with 2 weapons, you could choose to have a pole, there's a lot of other things you could do eventually as a druid, but a small shield is pretty good. And that's just shields in general in Amtgard. Your next spell or ability is heal. Oh, now I know you're thinking that, well, Wizzo, there's a class called healer. Why don't I just go get them to get a heal? And yes, you are right. They have a much better version of heal than you do. And scouts also have a bit better heal than what you do because it's extraordinary. But heal is so nice. Oh my goodness. When you play a caster that doesn't have heal, you'll realize how important heal is and just how much you wish you had heal on your list. Now let's say you're legged and you're crawling on the ground. I'm not going to crawl because it'd be hard to see, but you're crawling on the ground and you're trying to crawl to your healer, which is approximately a football field over there, and it's not great because your enemies are right here in your face since they just wounded you, and it's not good. Heal is great to keep your own self alive. Heal is also great for your teammates. So if someone's down and you have a healer who doesn't even know the heal spell, because you say, healer, come over here, and they're like, oh, I just took 18 greater releases. I mean, I didn't want to be tied down, I just wanted to keep fighting. They don't have time to heal, they don't know how to heal. Then you will also be able to use the heal spell. You'll be able to distribute other people who have the heal spell, so it's not just everyone go over to him, overwhelm him, he can't do anything else except heal, which is not great since they have other things they need to do. Heal is extremely important, very valuable to not just yourself, but to your teammates in general. So that's why you should at least always take 1 heal. If you don't, I question you. Your next purchase is Iceball. Now, Iceball is pretty much like Entangle. It's engulfing, it affects them for 60 seconds, it's 1 purchase for 2 balls. Same maximum amount of balls you can take, except instead of making a person stopped, it makes them frozen. Now there are pros and cons to this. If someone's stopped, then I can't move my feet, but I can still be affected. You could still heat their weapons, and then you could just stab them. With Iceball, once you throw it at them, they can't be affected. Them and their equipment cannot be affected. The benefit of Iceball, though, is that if you hit them, and they become frozen, they're not able to do anything. So if you entangle someone, imagine this was entangled, it hits an assassin, they just look at you, reach in their bag of about 300 throwies, just start throwing them at you. That's not preferable. It's also not preferable when one of your teammates walks by, they don't even know that the person stopped, and then just, you're dead. In addition to this, Iceball also stops casters. Now we'll talk about that ability that kind of counters Entangle at the end of your 2nd level. Pretty great. But all casters have the ability to get this spell. Even scouts have this spell. Half the classes in the game have this spell. So really, I mean, Entangle can be popped out of very easily by at least half of the people playing the game, or half of the classes that can be played in the game. So Entangle has its downfalls, and Iceball is the cure to that. Unless it's a barbarian, then just don't throw your Iceballs and Entangles at barbarians. That's stupid. Don't be bad. Your next purchase or available purchase for this level is a meta magic called Innate, and it's not great. The reason why Innate is not great is because Innate makes it so that you instantly charge an ability. Now, you might be thinking, well, I experienced heal in order to get more heals, or I experienced mend to get more mends. And yeah, that's a good idea. So are you going to innate them back? I mean, it could be good in a clutch situation, but innate is once per refresh, not per life. And why not just get another heal or mend? I mean, you'll probably not have to use innate then anyways, and it'll give you more of a benefit in the long run. Well, okay, you're thinking, well, Wizzo, what about any of my other chargeable abilities? And my question is, you don't have chargeable enchantments, so I have to question what abilities? What abilities do you have to charge? Do you have heat weapon, charge times 3? If you do, just don't do that. It's kind of a waste. But then you think, Wizzo, I can experience something else and make it charge times 10. And my question is, great. So aside from Dispel Magic, which we'll talk about at level 3, aside from Dispel Magic, what else would you innate? And the answer to that is, charge times 5, and it's not really good. Innate is just not good for a druid. Most druids don't take it because there's no point. And while it can technically be useful in a clutch situation, innate is, if it's per refresh, a crutch that people lean on because they weren't able to plan things out properly, or they're trying to use in that vital situation in order to turn the tide, which, I mean, druids don't really have verbals to do or chargeable abilities that can turn the tide that much, and your enchantments and your spell balls are generally better overall than anything that innate can affect. So that's why innate's not great. Your next available purchase is poison. I usually put leaves on weapons or grass because it's like hemlock. It's awesome. It coats the weapon with poison. But anyways, poison is wonderful. It's so powerful. Now you're thinking that, oh, well, Wizzo, you're just giving someone the ability to one time have wounds kill in melee. It's not that powerful. And you know what? You're right. It's not that powerful. And luckily, the designers of the game decided, you know what? It's not that powerful. So we're going to make this enchantment the only enchantment for Druid that is per life. Oh, you see, Druids, if the game designers are intelligent and don't make them literal gods, make it so that refresh is 30 minutes or longer. Druids then have the problem of not being able to enchant everyone constantly. They lose their main ability and their usefulness kind of tapers down to almost nothing. Now, longevity is your issue as a druid. Since you burn as a bright flame, you also burn out quicker. With poison, you are able to constantly affect the game. It is per life. You're able to always give people poison. You're always able to give enchants. You're always able to give an edge. And nothing's more stupid than being hit 20 minutes in the game by a warrior who before he engages says, wounds kill. You say, what? And then he hits you in the leg. And you look at his sash and you're wondering, warrior, what? And then you hear from the side, wounds kill. And you look over and you see a monk hit someone in the arm and then they're dead. And you're wondering, what is going on? And you see a druid just sitting in the back, just, nah. All right, this is great. Because poison allows you to have longevity in the game, unlike any other enchantment. And it is wonderful because of that. Now, druids don't always take poison. They really should, but if anyone goes into, well, any archetype except one, which we'll talk about at level 6, you're probably going to take poison, or you should at least take poison because of this reason and because it's just so freaking awesome. Now, your second to last option of purchases is release. Now, release is heavenly. It gives you, half the classes in the game have release, okay? There's a reason why you have release. If you're entangled, you can release yourself from a state or an ongoing effect. Someone heats your weapon, no, I'm gonna release it. Someone else is frozen, I'm gonna release you. You're stopped, I'm gonna release myself. I mean, it is just great. It keeps you going, it's per life, it's so wonderful. If you want more information about release, I'll explain more about it in the Scout video, but yours is not EX, it is magical. And that is the only downside from the Scout ability. Now, your last ability is Stoneform. I personally love Stoneform. I think every druid should take it because it is your way to get out of trouble. Barbarian goes, fight after death! I take the form of stone. Well, don't move your feet, just say, I take the form of stone. Okay, you have an archer point their bow at you. I take the form of stone. Don't hurt me. You could do Stoneform for a whole bunch of different things. You could charge into the middle of a bunch of people, stop in a second, drop your sword. I take the form of stone. And then people just hit on you. They wonder what happened as your team rolls past you and you're a statue. I mean, Stoneform is great. Now, Stoneform makes you frozen for however long you want. Stoneform is a one-line incant. I take the form of stone. You're now frozen, and you release yourself at your own time. This could be 2 seconds, 5 seconds, 10 seconds, 50 seconds, 100 seconds, however long you want. And all you need to do in order to release yourself is say, you have to release me. And then blah, 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 blah. Now, one thing to remember with Stoneform is it's magic, like all your spells and abilities. So you do need a free hand. This is a little bit of a problem because I've seen druids go in with 2 swords. I take the form of stone and they have 2 swords, and I've actually done it myself. Unfortunately, I'm sorry to say, but it's something you need to be aware of with Stoneform. Now, Stoneform, you could say, well, Wizzo, I mean, it's not that great, right? It just makes you frozen. You can come out, and it's probably what? Once per refresh? No, my good sir. It is once per refresh, but it is also charge times 3. Ooh, so that means after you use it, you can just get into a spot and charge it back, and you are able to use it again and again and again and again. And people can ask, how many Stoneforms do you have? And you answer, yes. Really quick, I forgot one enchantment. Silly me. The last spell that you would get should be a little bit higher in the video, but the last spell that you would get is Gift of Earth. Now, Gift of Earth, not the best spell in the world, because, well, let's look at the full thing. At 2nd level, you get an enchantment that gives you 2 points of magic armor. Oh, that's twice as much as Barkskin. Pretty good. Okay, pretty good. But you also get greater harden. So that means that no longer do you have to choose between a shield or weapons. Now you can have both. You can have shield and weapons be hardened. Yeah! I have hardened shields and weapons. This is great. So what could be the downside? Why is Gift of Earth so bad? Well, it's the same reaction that I get when I tell people about Gift of Earth. Hey, do you want Gift of Earth? What's it do? Tell them the things that it does, and they say, oh yeah, that sounds great. And then I see the last part. But you're suppressed. Ooh, that's not what most people want. See, if a warrior gets this, and they now have 2 points of armor, which is better than none, then they're not able to use their scavenge or their true grit. And even if it might be better, they already have harden, and I mean, it makes them suppressed. They don't really want to do that. Monks, I mean, they can already block projectiles, and they get 2 points of armor, but then they can't do heal or sanctuary or anything else. So they don't like Gift of Earth. They don't like that the bearer becomes suppressed. It's almost more of a negative than a positive. Even though the enchantment is fairly powerful, the fact that it makes the bearer suppressed is just so much of a negative that most people don't want it. And that's the reason why most people don't know about Gift of Earth. Now that concludes our level 2 purchase options, spells, abilities, however you want to call it, for Druid. And I hope that you enjoyed, and keep watching to learn everything that you get as you level up in Druid. If you like the content, then don't forget to like, subscribe, and ding that notification bell so you stay informed. Until next time, keep LARPing and have fun with your new abilities.